Hey Nike, how's it going? My name is Anand Alexander. I've applied for three internships at Nike: the finance undergraduate internship, the procurement undergraduate internship, as well as the associate in merchandising undergraduate internship. I'm currently a sophomore right now at the University of Kentucky. Today, kind of in this video, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about myself, kind of like where I'm from, kind of my background in regards to sports, as well as some of the short term goals I want to accomplish if I'm able to get this Nike internship, as well as kind of my long term goals. So like I said, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about myself first. So I grew up in Dayton, Ohio, and kind of I've been there kind of almost my whole life. I also went to high school, of course, in Dayton. And for me, in regards to sports, sports have been a big part of my life, but it kind of only happened recently. So I started playing soccer for the first time as a freshman in high school. The school I went to was a super big powerhouse in soccer. We had won 5 state championships. So it was a little bit of a daunting experience for me kind of to go in there and just try out for the team. Fortunately, I was able to make that team, and kind of from there started the process. I was having to compete with kids that have been playing their whole lives. So it was a big challenge for me, but I believe this experience has taught me and helped shape me into the man that I am today. I was able to learn hard work, how to respect my coaches, and also how to overcome adversity, right? So a lot of times I wasn't getting the minutes just because there were so many kids that were better than me. So I was having to work harder and harder on my own, having to learn, watch videos, how to grow as an athlete, not only from the technical side of the game, but as well as the mental side, and increasing kind of my soccer knowledge. This was a great experience for me, and something that I'll always remember and carry with me throughout my life. After graduating high school, I decided I would really love to get involved in coaching. And kind of once I graduated, I started to reach out to a lot of high school coaches to see if I could be able to work with them on staff during the summer. Unfortunately, I actually received a lot of rejection letters saying that right now we're full of staff, but thank you for reaching out. But I was able actually to receive some letters from both the University of Cincinnati and the University of Dayton to come work their camps. So I was able to work the University of Cincinnati men's soccer camp, as well as both the University of Dayton both men's soccer camp, as well as the University of Dayton women's soccer camp. So that was a really great experience for me. The University of Dayton was able to see how passionate I was about the game and how hardworking I was. I actually was able to build a really good relationship that I have with their head coach now. So he's someone I look to for advice, kind of on coaching decisions and also from a life perspective as well. I always try to go back as well during my breaks from the University of Kentucky and help them out in their offices, kind of learn from him and his assistant coaches, as well as also getting to work their camps. Like I said, I'm a sophomore right now at the University of Kentucky, so I'm able to now work here, kind of at the University of Kentucky, working with the soccer pro down here. I'm currently working on the women's side of the game right now. Next fall, I'll hopefully be able to transition into working with both the men's and women's soccer program. So it's going to be a great experience for me. I've been able to also learn so much from the women's coaches down here, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity that they have given me. I'm also coaching right now at the club level with a Nike Premier Soccer Club that's directly sponsored by Nike called Lexington FC. And kind of here I'm able to have that same experience, right? I'm learning from so many great coaches that have been so instrumental to me in teaching me things, giving me advice on how to handle my team. So it's something that I've been really absorbing almost as a sponge and kind of just learning from them. And also I'm learning from my players, right? Working with different age groups of players has been a tremendous experience for me. I feel like me and Nike have almost been connected kind of throughout my whole coaching journey. Both the University of Dayton and University of Kentucky are both Nike sponsored schools. So I've been always around the brand. I've always seen the brand being represented in like such a great way by these two schools. And I would just love to be part of the brand, going forward in a long-term basis. So, for me, Nike is a company that's always pushing the limits, right? So wherever they go, they're always pushing themselves to do better. And that's something I feel that represents myself as well. This past summer, I was also able to work as an assistant coach down in DC with DC United of the MLS. I was primarily an assistant coach with the developmental academies, as well as an assistant with the under 23 program. Here has been, working in DC was a tremendous experience for me. I was able to see kind of how a professional club operated, and I was able to work with so many great players, that were involved in kind of the U.S. youth national team setup. So to be able to work with them, coach them, it was a tremendous experience for me to have. Now I would like to talk to you kind of about some of my short-term goals that I have if I'm able to get the internship at Nike this summer. I think for me, my biggest thing that I want to make sure that I do is make sure that I make an impact. whether it be to make sure that I'm always the hardest working intern, and also always helping my bosses and my mentors, and also learning and helping out the other interns as well. I think it's super big. It's super important that I'm always open to hearing different advices and collaborating with other individuals. And I believe that the interns that you guys bring are as motivated as me, and someone that I can help just feed off of energies and learn and grow from to become a better Nike ambassador and a better Nike worker. So that's kind of like my short term vision that I have if I'm able to get the chance to work at Nike this summer. For my long term goal would be to work with Nike in a long term basis. In my vision that I have with Nike is to lead a team in India to help push sports more and the Nike brand more in India. What I mean by that is I feel like India is a country that's got great potential, right, with over a billion people, but they lack resources, and there's a lot of corruption and a lot of politics that go on in the country that kind of stunts the growth of a lot of youth athletes to kind of make that rise and kind of come out of that ceiling or that bubble into becoming a professional athlete. You see India has a billion people, but you really don't hear much of them as a sports country. Of course, you hear a little bit on the cricket side, but you really don't hear that much about the country kind of on a sports perspective. I believe that we could change that through camps and clinics all year round in training centers in the country, pushing sports like basketball, soccer, and cricket throughout the country. I believe we could produce some pretty great athletes in this country. And not only can we produce athletes, but I believe we can help produce better men and women as well. You can learn so much through sports, kind of in my own experiences, learning hard work, respect, how to overcome adversity. I think these are all great characteristics that you can learn from sports, and not only take it, with your sports career, but also through a life perspective, right? Because, not all the athletes that we have are going to become professional sports players. So I believe that they can help better the community and also could be future workers at Nike to help better the brand. Something I would always like to push is women's sports in the country. India is a country, like I said, is growing slowly, but it's growing. And I believe the stereotypes around women right now are still that they got to stay at home and sports really shouldn't be focused on too much. But I believe there's so many great Indian women out there. I can speak, for example, for my own mom, who's so hardworking, and she's so determined. And I believe there's so many great Indian women that can produce that are in the country that we could help produce some really great women's athletes. So I believe that's something that's very important, something that's very dear to my heart. Like I said, both of my parents were born in India, so it's a country that I feel very close to and very connected to, and would love to make a positive impact in this great country. I feel like this is my long-term goal, but this is something that I don't believe that will just happen right overnight. I believe it will take many years of hard work working in Nike at the lower ranks, and then me kind of able to climb that corporate ladder for me to eventually lead a team down here in India to help establish this and kind of help spread the power of sports and the power of Nike throughout the whole country. I believe through this initiative, we really can produce some great athletes, and I feel like it'll be a positive impact both for Nike as well as the country of India. Nike, I just want to thank you again for hearing me right now. 3-4 years ago, I would never have been able to think of the idea that I'd be able to pitch to Nike about an internship. So I just wanted to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It was a tremendous experience being able to speak with you guys, be able to tell you kind of my goals. I hope you see through this interview how motivated and how passionate I am about Nike, and how I would love to, join the Nike brand and join the Nike company and help keep pushing the Nike, help pushing them to new limits, day in and day out. So like I said, I just want to thank you again for your time, and I really hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you so much.